time for your check-in. How we doing? Made it through another one. Let's keep at it and keep churning forward to a better place. Speaking of... Okay. I completely blanked out there for a moment, but okay, here we are. How you doing, Justy? I think this is it. Lowell's the guy we've been chasing for 2 days. And right now, I'm not feeling anything. Guess my body hasn't processed it yet. Once this is over, we can finally close this case. Hold on, you two. Before you go in, you should know we are checked the photo. It's real. He didn't fake it. That's good to know, but we never questioned that, right? In case you forgot, his agreement is that he would turn over evidence in exchange for us dropping all previous charges. Meaning we can only charge him with murder. Otherwise, he's walking out of here. So the feeling I didn't have, it's back. Catching a murderer is way above my pay grade. I don't even have proof Lowell killed anyone. Hey, Sue, can you give us a moment? I do need to get back to work. Good luck in there. I'll get the paperwork ready for when you both solve this case. Hey, Justy, you trust me, right? Hey then, breathe out. I trust you. Then you'll be fine. But no matter what, I have your back. We can do this, partner. Breathe in, breathe out. I'll calm down. Do you mind if we wait inside for them? Sure thing. Hello. Hello, Ledger. Do you know why we brought you back here? What can I say? I couldn't leave anyway. Things he'd settled with Mr. Eubanks. It's settled, but we have one more question for you. Why did you shoot Mr. Chambers? Do you think you're funny? I gave you all the proof you needed. And now you think I committed murder. Detective evidence is everything. I expect some evidence before asking a loaded question. He's the only person who could have done it. Mr. Eubanks was knocked out at the time. An excuse you two just ate up like wild pigs. Unfortunately, I saw the whole thing. You mean the shooting? I was nearby at the time and looked into the window when I saw them. I saw the whole thing from start to end. Only afterwards did I take that picture. You expect us to... Perfect. Just what I wanted to hear. Mr. Ledger, tell us everything you saw. Leave no details out. Fine. I will cut if you're a free man anyway. Firmly baited. I looked into the window and I saw the two talking, but I couldn't hear them. Suddenly Mr. Chambers pulled out his gun and aimed it at Mr. Eubanks. Mr. Eubanks hit Mr. Chambers with his umbrella, then took the gun while he was stunned. With the gun in his right hand, Mr. Eubanks fired his first shot. Anton was hurt, but he lunged at Mr. Eubanks. That's when the second shot was fired. Anton pushed him back into the desk, and that's what knocked Mr. Eubanks out. It's a long testimony. I asked for all the details, and he delivered. That's as much as you want. I have nothing to hide. After all, I am no murderer. He did see everything. He must have changed something to make Mr. Eubanks the murderer. What would he change? Hold it. Why couldn't you hear them? It must have been loud. Eubanks Investments has specially made offices that work similarly to a soundproof room. This is to ensure that no one can listen in on the managers and executives. And both my husband and Anton agreed to have it built this way. They did like their secrets. He has a soundproof office and still prefers meetings at his home. If you could hear them, what did you see? Trust issues? Trust issues? Trusting family before business? Did you see anything that would provoke Anton into pulling his gun? Nope, I didn't see anything. Widow isn't exactly a front row seat in a movie. Never knew why he pulled the gun in the first place. Doesn't seem like he knows Anton's threat to Owen. That is true. So how did Mr. Eubanks grab the gun? Where did he hit Anton? On the side of his leg. I can't remember which leg. Detective, the autopsy report doesn't show that injury. I don't see it here. Oh, here it is. A small bruise at his right thigh. I think that confirms Lowell's story. What happened after he took the gun? How do you know it was his right hand? It's what I saw, simple as that. Even have proof. You saw the picture, right? As you can see, he had the gun near his right hand when I took the picture. It must have fallen out of his hand when he got knocked out. Does that answer your question? Yeah, no further questions. If he really is our culprit, he set it up like this on purpose. Why did he lynch at Mr. Eubank? That question can only be answered by Anton. My client can only speculate. I couldn't answer even if I tried. To be shot and move like he wasn't hit was impressive. Adrenaline makes the body forget it's in pain. It also helps that the first shot wasn't lethal. What happened next? But Anton pushed back. The second shot's gonna be key. I'm confused. Was Mr. Eubanks back toward the desk? After the first shot, he moved toward Mr. Chambers' desk. I think he was looking for something. I think he was looking for something, but I couldn't tell you what. That's when Mr. Chambers lunged and attacked him. He fired the second shot, but the recoil caused him to hit the desk, and he was knocked out. Looking for something sounds like a code for I need an answer fast. I can't disprove that yet. Perhaps there's a similar problem with this statement. Hitting a wall, crashed to the floor, gunshot happened. Well, first avenue we could try. Second shot was almost instantaneous. False. Slap. It's time to end you faster than your term is precedent. Here's the proof. Oh, was that evidence? I could tell from how useless it was. But hurry up, time's a ticking. I have a date with freedom I don't want to miss. There's no way you get away now. After everything you put my family and the Eubanks through, I'm gonna crash you if it's the last thing I do. Oops. Memory serves me correctly. Owen doesn't dispute this. But it's more struggled. More struggle than anything. Particularly, we're close to their respective entry points. If they're gonna leave stunned. And Mr. Eubank. Oh, I'm going backwards here. So they're gonna leave stun. Got his right hand. Mr. Eubank fired his first shot. Lunge, second shot. Just give us the impression that both shots were close range. As in, like in the case of this description, would be more in line with, like, the second shot. Coming in a struggle at close range. And then the Lowell applied another shot from close range to kill Anton. Ah, okay. Slap. Lowell, your story doesn't add up. Mr. Eubanks did shoot the gun from his right hand. It wouldn't match with the first bullet's entry point. The bullet needed to shoot straight into his right side, but he could do that with his right hand. Or to the heart. Bullet to the right rib. Perpendicular. Huh? And if you wanted to just shoot Mr. Chambers, he would have aimed close to his chest. This seems a bit... Math isn't mathing here. I don't... Maybe I'm just... Maybe I'm just not fully here, but... Right now the math isn't mathing. If you see what it's getting at, let me know. I must have been mistaken. Oh yes, I knew. Mr. Chambers pointed his gun at Mr. Eubanks. The two circled each other. The gun was in his left hand, but from my ankle it was in his right hand. Oh. Oh. The first bullet hit Anton on his right side. But if the gun was in Owen's right hand, it wouldn't match. Yeah, that math wouldn't math. Right side to right side. It would have to be in Owen's left. Okay. I'm just dumb. It would have to be in Owen's left hand to hit Anton in the right side. Alright. I gotcha. And everything played out exactly as I said, with the two switching sides. Left and right were a big step, a simple mistake. Can you go into more detail on what you saw? Round 2. Mr. Eubanks was facing toward the door with his back toward the desk. So you could completely see his body. Anton's body was covering up a part of him, but I could see enough. A few in his eyes was a delight to see. His back was toward the desk. Where was Mr. Chambers? Mr. Chambers was blocking the door. Why did he need to pull his gun as a threat? He could have just walked out. If I had to guess, he needed to send a message. Us leader types can't just be followers forever. Whatever you say, President Lowell. Oh wait, it's just Lowell, right? How could you forget that you were fired? I wasn't fired, I quit. Eubanks Investments hasn't received any sort of resignation since this morning. But your position is already terminated, so yes, you are fired. Eh. Only because I was stuck in the station for the last few hours. The shade from Ferris. Let's get back on topic. Ferris has said that she's only here to make sure we do our jobs right. That's a big mistake to make for someone who saw everything. Even someone like me can make a mistake or two. And now it's perfectly correct. No problems whatsoever. Must be bluffing. Well, there must be a hole somewhere. A hole that can only show up because of this new line. Stayed his arm and fired. If he aimed his gun, did he intend to kill Anton? Who can say? Maybe he said something to Anton before firing. Maybe the classic any last words. Does he think Owen is some kind of action movie star? Everything played out as I said previously. As a reminder, you said that he searched the desk, Anton lunged, and the second shot was fired. That's when he was knocked out by the desk, right? Exactly. After they went into the office and you know the rest. You mean blackmailed your boss, moved the body, then tried to pin the crime on Mr. Eubanks. None of which the police can charge me with. Thanks to the detective offering a plea deal. Unless we get it for murder, which is a separate crime altogether. I really hope Sophie's gambit is worth it. See, now I think this comes down to something hit a wall, then crash to the floor, then gunshot. False. Slap. It's time to end you faster than your turn. Same thing. Oh, dividends. Oh, foolish normies. Oh. Oh, if he had the gun in his left hand, and was aiming it, his monocle popped off. There we go. Slap. Lord, that explanation doesn't make sense. Eubanks' monocle fell out of his eye when Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out. He's blind in his left eye without it. If he was going to fire it, he would have used his right hand. But he could see more clearly. But hold on. Being blind in one eye doesn't make it impossible to fire it. My husband isn't useless without both eyes. Well, Lord did say steady, meaning that the shot was not fired as soon as it was stolen. Don't get talking about a single word, he still shot him. Let me ask you one follow-up question. Was he wearing his monocle when he fired? He was. That's how he was able to take the gun and fire it before Mr. Chambers could react. You have my word against his. Lowell clearly wants his story airtight, and a missing monocle would be a problem. He needs Mr. Eubank to be the only suspect. Lowell, we can prove that he did lose his monocle. Here's how we know he lost his monocle before firing. Is it cheeky? This picture, you see Mr. Eubank without his monocle. If he had it when he was attacked, then where was it? Simple, it fell off when he hit the desk. The force knocked it off him. Then where is it? Shouldn't it be around his body after hitting the desk? Well, it must be out of shot. He's right. It is, but I think I know why. Think about the positions of the two. Mr. Eubank had his back toward the desk, even if it fell out. When he was surprised, it would still be on the floor. If the two flipped, with Anton's back toward the desk, his monocle would have fallen off and been out of shot. But that doesn't make sense. My husband woke up after this photo was taken. How did he get there? I was thinking about that. It's basic, really. During the struggle for the gun, they must have switched sides. But how? Mr. Eubanks said something that stuck with me. I hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, fought to keep his gun within view of my right eye. If what he says is true, then we might be able to figure out what happened. Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out with his right hand. What would Mr. Eubank do? Well... circle to the... strafe to the left? Let me think. Push right. And push it right. Moving towards the right wall while keeping it in line of sight for his right eye. It's the only way to line up what we know. We'd move around his left side while avoiding the gun. That way he would be behind Mr. Chambers. But why would he do that? Why wouldn't he go for the gun? Simple. He didn't want to kill Anton. He would have tried to restrain him by grabbing him from the back to do so. Then how did he get shot? I should have the evidence. Here's the evidence that shows how the first shot happened. Hmm. It's coming into play. Slap. This evidence should be the answer. Sorry, Justy, that's not going to work. Just have to think outside the box. There were only two people in the room. One of them must have pulled the trigger. How do I prove who did it? Missing rug. Anton. Oh yeah, Anton's. Slap. I know from the autopsy report that he had gunshot residue on his right arm. Mr. Chambers would only have had that if he fired a shot. He must have moved the gun closer to his right side once Mr. Eubanks got behind him. Meaning Anton was the one who fired the first shot. Unless you believe that he shot himself with the second shot. You proved Lowe lied and explained how the first shot was fired. But my client is being accused of murder, not perjury. You still need to connect the bullet in Anton's heart to my client directly. Alright. No proof of a murder. There isn't any proof Lowell even touched the gun. All fingerprints were removed from it, so anyone could have held it. Mr. Chambers loaded the gun with a second bullet to go after Mr. Newbuck. Even if Miss Lowell loaded it, you couldn't even lift fingerprints off the bullet that was fired. She's right. If we had any evidence, this case would have already been solved. We have all the evidence we could ask for. The problem is putting it together. It's the details that matter, making sure everything we know lines up properly. Hold it. We know we took the picture when Mr. Eubanks was knocked out and Anton was dead. We had the means to grab the gun and fire it. Being in the same room as the murder weapon isn't the same as using it. That leaves Owen as the prime suspect in this. He's the only one who knows. We know who was there when the gun was fired. Playing devil's advocate must be hard on her. If there's one time that she'll be overjoyed to catch the criminal, this is it. Yep, she's literally being devil's advocate. She is being adversarial for the sake of shoring up the case against Lowell. Eliminate the doubts. To nail down the bastard. Yeah, we can't really do anything about this. Detective, were there any fingerprints on the gun? None were found. They were completely removed by the time we examined the gun yesterday. I removed them myself. Didn't want the police going after Mr. Eubanks after I just got promoted. And to cover his own ass. Guess finding fingerprints isn't gonna help us here. But we know he only carries one bullet in his gun. Why would he load a second one just for one person? The motive for why isn't important. He was the only person who could have loaded it. Would have loaded it. It's only reasonable that he is the sole person who loaded both bullets. There must be some proof he loaded it. That's not completely true. Detective Hunt said they almost got the fingerprints off the first shot. That's irrelevant. It would certainly be loaded by Anton. What about the second one? They couldn't get anything. There you have it. No proof I loaded it. Of course, even if I did load it, I wouldn't be dumb enough to risk fingerprints on it. He's just showing off now. False. Can we lift fingerprints off the safe? False. Slap. Your rebuttal isn't gonna work here. Here's why you're wrong. Your evidence is doing nothing but making my tea cold. If I counterpoint, at least make it hot enough to warm my tea. Silly me, I thought you liked cold tea. Better try something else. I'm just spitballing. We've gotten everything we can from here. Alright, I've been chewing on this one for a while. Loaded the gun with a second bullet to go after Mr. Let me read this again. Only carries one bullet in his gun. Why would he load a second one? Just one person. He was the only person who would have loaded it. The reason that he's the sole person who loaded both bullets. Some proof he loaded it. Chambers loaded the gun with the second bullet. I think this could mean... Details here are a bit odd. Although I might still be airheaded and lacking good sleep. But, load the gun with the second bullet to go after Mr. Eubanks. Like, did he load the gun with the second bullet before the confrontation? Or did he load the second bullet, fire the shot, reload, and shoot, and get shot again? Because the key here is there being two bullets involved. And, like, them rubbing home, putting over the fact that Anton only keeps one bullet in the gun because he's a cocky bastard. No fingerprints were found on both bullets inside Anton. Hey. Improved Lowell even touched the gun. I think it's removed it. Load the gun with the second bullet to go up to Mr. Eubanks. Like, that's plausible. Slap. Mrs. Eubanks, the evidence doesn't support that. According to the autopsy report, no fingerprints could be found on the two bullets. We don't know who loaded them, including Anton himself. What if he only loaded the first one? Our culprit loaded the second one. Because of lack of fingerprints means you lack evidence to prove I loaded it. That's all you got, is a waste of time. But there's something I can do with this information. Think, Justina. If Lowell did load the second shot, he must have done it after the first shot was fired. So there must have been some evidence that he left behind. Well, there isn't. I'm in the clear and you can't change that. Grabbing the bullet. But Eubanks could have grabbed the bullet easily. There's also isn't any proof that Anton didn't load the second bullet himself. There's time between Detective Hunt leaving and Mr. Eubanks arriving for him to do it. I didn't know about Anton having bullets in his office at the time. If I wanted to kill Anton, I would have picked a different method. He's right, there isn't enough proof he grabbed the bullet. Let's rethink this. Get back to the basics. He had taken the bullet, he had time to change up the crime scene. Perhaps there's something he couldn't or didn't change that goes against the facts. If he's right, what couldn't he change? Hold it. And why would he do that? He didn't intend to kill him with the first shot. Self-defense. If Anton was about to attack him, he knew he had to finish him off. But he told us he didn't want to kill Anton. A simple lie to keep his self-defense story. As long as he said he was scared and didn't want to, he can claim self-defense. I hate that he's right. Owen said that as well. Hold it. And why did he get the chance? He went from beating Detective Hunt to beating Mr. Eubanks. Maybe he loaded it while driving. Don't we all use red lights to fidget with things? I don't even think a gun nut like him would load a bullet while driving. I suppose it's not impossible. My rule of thumb is to run in every yellow light before it turns red. Thanks, Sophie. Maybe he was the same and didn't hit a red light at all. I don't think that's something for a cop to brag about. It's a moot point anyways. How'd you know there was time in between? Stefan and Mr. Eubanks didn't see each other, right? Those two only found out about each other after you found out. Like sitcom where one goes down the elevator just as the other one goes up. You make a good point. Following Detective Hunt stayed just a little bit longer. At the time, how would Mr. Eubanks know about the bullets in the president's office? You're not giving Mr. Eubanks enough credit. You think he wouldn't know everything about Anton? They worked together for years. You would notice Anton bringing bullets into his office. It's also his building. There's no secret he wouldn't know. He does make a good point. Focus, Justina. Don't let him bait you. Instead of focusing on what Owen might know, focus on what Owen could do. What would you have picked? Who knows? If I wanted to be president, I wouldn't stoop so low as to murder for it. Blackmail's more my style. Huh. Maybe asking a murderer how they would murder someone was a bad idea. Real. Okay, that's not relevant yet. We know he had the password to the safe, but that doesn't prove he knew what was inside. I think that there's better evidence to use. Stop. Time to end it. So we're implying from this that we are, knowledge of the safe is tantamount to using Anton's bullets to do a killing. So there's no proof he grabbed the bullet. Back to basics, he would take the bullet, he had time to change up the crime scene. Couldn't or didn't change, it goes against the facts. Could have grabbed the bullet easily. Oh, wait. Oh. Slap. That isn't true, Lowell. He doesn't keep all his bullets in an open space. When we went back to the president's office, we found a safe behind the blackboard. When we looked inside, we found that's where he keeps his gun accessories. We even found a pack of bullets with 2 bullets missing. What are you getting at? Puts his bullets in his safe. No one should have access to them. Hence why we were jumping the gun in trying to bring up the Lowell's safe combination. Unless someone took them out. Someone grabbed the bullets from the safe to kill Mr. Chambers. Since Mr. Chambers didn't kill himself and Mr. Eubanks was knocked out, that leaves only you. But that was Mr. Chambers' safe. I couldn't access it. We have evidence that states otherwise. Here's how we know you could access the safe. Slap. According to the mechanic, there was a piece of paper with S2021 written on it, which is the exact code for the safe. Can't explain why it was in your car, Lowell. And where does it say it's a safe code? You're the one saying it's a code, not me. There's no proof I knew what those numbers meant. Even if I knew it was the code to Anton's safe, his safe was hidden in his office. How would I know where it was? Can't expect anyone to believe that. Well, it's possible he could have opened the safe. That piece of paper is circumstantial evidence. There's too much room for doubt. I need more direct evidence to charge him. Detective, is she right? She is. I need to prove he opened the safe, or was the only one who could have opened it. Oh no! That's all we had left! Nothing else to say? It looks like we are done here. It was fun, but that's all the time I have left. We're so close, we can't let him get away with this. Detective, there must be something left. We looked over all the evidence. He covered his tracks well. We haven't talked about the clock, have we? Mrs. Eubanks, after everything he did. We can't let him walk out of here. He can't be charged for murder without stronger proof. With the plea deal, all charges for moving the body are dropped. Legally, you have to let him walk out of here. Sorry, accepting his deal was a mistake. Revoke the plea deal. Evidence of murder. If we can't do that, can't catch him for murder, then we will do the next best thing. We will revoke the plea deal. Break the deal? I must be losing my hearing. Break my plea deal? The deal is done, signed and legally binding. You can't break it. That's not completely true. Unlike you, I read the whole thing. It states that the deal will be null and void if the evidence was tampered with. Tampering with evidence isn't just changing the photo. If you changed the crime scene before you took that picture, it would also be considered tampered evidence. If you read the fine print, it states that they have until midnight to determine that. Oh, based. Check your watch. It's not midnight yet. You're supposed to be on my side. Whatever do you mean? As your lawyer, I'm telling you the terms for your contract. I'm sure the detectives already knew everything I just said. Yeah, I totally knew that. Go ahead. Do whatever you want with that photo. It's a real photo taken straight from my phone. Nothing about it was changed. Lowell must have set up the room to look that way, but what could we be forgetting? Looking at Lowell's photo, what is something he would change? This photo Lowell would have changed. Would he have changed? Broken clock? There's something in this picture that's missing. Where's the clock, Lowell? I don't know. You tell me. But the president's office had a clock on the wall when I visited Anton last week. But today it was broken and found in the safe. Someone had to place it there. You were the only person who could have. Where would I hide it? It was just a clock. The clock was broken at 8 p.m. and you couldn't let anyone know that. Otherwise, this other evidence wouldn't line up. Here's why you couldn't let anyone know the first gunshot happened at 8 p.m. on Sunday night. What happened to Eubanks? Is it just as simple as the, Air 5? It's because the 5-minute time difference. In fact, Mr. Eubanks said something to us earlier. I was knocked out for just a moment, and that's when Lowell came in. That's not true. He was knocked out for much longer. Mr. Eubanks knew how much time had passed. That would break the illusion. And he would start suspecting you were involved. I think I moved the broken clock to the safe to trick Mr. Eubanks. I do. Between opening the safe to grab another bullet and rearranging the crime scene, you needed time. How foolish. Your theory is as broken as the very clock you want to use against me. You left one single hole in your theory. How did it break? Are you saying that it's impossible? It is, and here's why. Broken clock? Only Mr. Eubanks or Anton could have broken the clock like you suggested. Those two never went near the clock. They stayed at the center of the room during their struggle. Nor do they have any motive to break the clock. As you can see, there's nothing that would cause the clock to break. This is our last chance, huh? Sure seems like it. If we can't nail him here, he's walking out of here with no charges. We can do it. Now it's time to finish this. Something caused that clock to break, but what? Was it physical force? Gravity? Evidence don't let me down now. Hold it. Why are those two the only options? If the clock was broken at 8 PM like you suggested, then those two were the only people in the room. Unless you want to suggest I was inside during this struggle. Don't listen to him, Justina. He's trying to goad you. But he's right. Only Mr. Eubank and Anton were inside the room at the time. Only those two, why would they do that? And why is that? The whole struggle in the president's office was in the center of the office. We never had time to go over the clock. Go over to the clock. Or never mentioned the clock when we spoke to him. Was it some minor detail he didn't think was important? Maybe he wasn't aware it was broken. Or now we need to pay attention to what Lowell is saying. Hold it. How do you know where they were standing? I watched the whole thing the whole time from outside. I never saw them move. What proof do you need that an eyewitness? I don't recall Owen saying his location. Why would Owen and Anton leave the center of the office? Well, now I need to pay attention to what Lowell is saying. Maybe the clock had a secret to it, like how the blackboard had a hidden safe behind. Okay, Justina, please. Anton had that clock since we first started Eubank Investments. My husband and I even helped pick it out for him. If it had a secret to it, I would already know. Are you sure? Not even a teeny tiny secret? I'm going to agree with Mrs. Eubank and say there is no secret. Yeah. If nothing caused it to break, why was it broken? Perhaps it broke earlier in the day, then Anton put the clock in the safe. The clock is an analog clock. For all you know, it could have broken at 8 AM and we wouldn't know. It doesn't make sense. I know he's lying, but it's a clever lie. But a lie is still a lie. We'll find the truth, no matter what. Stop. It's time to end you. Yeah. Same thing. I think it would cause the card break if something was thrown. Something was thrown. Slap. I know why. Joy said something today that I haven't forgotten. I heard a sound like something heavy hitting the wall, followed by something that crashed to the floor. Then the gunshot happened. Mr. Eubank also said something similar as well. He hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, fought to keep his gun within the view of my right eye. We ended up hitting the wall at some point, then a bang. It seems during their struggle, Anton and Mr. Eubank hit the wall. The clock fell, then the gunshot happened. We have recorded too, with the recording ending exactly at 8 PM on Sunday night. That's when the clock broke, and since Anton has been shot, Mr. Eubank was unconscious. It leaves you with 5 minutes where you were the only person who could have moved it. Which breaks your plea deal as you tampered with a crime scene in the photo. Where'd you get that? There's no way that can be acceptable evidence. If the conversation was being presented as evidence, you're right, that would be illegal. Other recorded sounds are perfectly acceptable. You can't be serious. My deal. Broken by some damn loophole. Okay. Pretty cool. After all of this, it comes back down to the piece of evidence we had to almost completely scrub. And since you were the only person who could have moved the clock, you must have been the one to open the safe. Anton was dead, my husband was knocked out. That means they can also charge you for first-degree murder. Once this is over, you're gonna need a good lawyer. No. 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 No, no, no. I think I did. Damn it all. Damn, bro. Lowell, have you finally given up? Lowell, how could you? How would you kill Anton and frame my husband for murder? I already told the detectives, but I guess you wouldn't know. My family barely got by growing up, and I had to change that. That's why I wanted the job. Never cared about the company, I just wanted the money. there's one thing I wanted more than money. Power. Yeah, that tracks more with the story that we were told here. That tracks way more with the story we were... with the story he told us after the whole plea deal. When I saw Anton get shot, I knew I could keep Mr. Eubanks under my thumb. No longer would I be just an assistant. I would have the power to make a name for myself. Because he lived... If memory serves me correctly, he lived in a poor neighborhood who got bought out by loan sharks and the like, and forced out of their home. And the story he told us at the time was that I saw them as admirable bastions of power and strove to be like them. And so I joined Eubank Investments, despite them taking everything from me, because their power is pretty based, bro. They wanted more money. This makes more sense in that regard. In the vein of, went in, saw Anton's body on the floor and was ready to take the picture. In the vein of, I don't actually give a shit about this place. I want the money and I want the status. To never be trampled on again. Then I noticed he was alive, bleeding out on the rug. I knew I had to finish the job. So you grabbed an extra bullet just to shoot him. Could have lived. How would you have this safe password? Would still be here with us today. Perhaps you would have killed your husband if I hadn't stepped in. He wasn't the type to let things go. And how'd you get the safe combination? Who do you think has been helping him smuggle bullets in? It was extra work with extra pay. Ah. Nothing what Owen knew about the safe, so it was a brilliant plan. A brilliant plan, now in ruins. Lowell, I sympathize with you growing up poor. But your selfish greed was not worth a man's life. That he will be charged with first-degree murder. Let's finish this case up. After we finalized his confession, Lowell was taken away. After 2 days of hunting for the culprit, the case was finally complete. I am so tired. Oh, goody! You know how to get your energy back up. Going for a bike ride. Ah! Oh! Well, yeah, you are correct in that regard. That is, yeah. Not again. Too tight. Oh, sorry. I got carried away. We just solved one murder. We don't need another. We can do this every time we solve a case. Do you want me to? Of course. It's the perfect way to celebrate. Wait a second. You said every time. You want to join on? You want to join on more cases? I don't think I can do more. This is my full-time job. I think I would quit now. After hearing Lowell's story, I think this job isn't for me. What do you mean? The other day when he told us about him and his family being forced to move, I think he learned the wrong lesson from that. He wanted a better life for himself than his parents. I just wish he used that drive for good. I know he should pay for his crimes. I just can't help but feel guilty. Like, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later, but this has been the running theme through this game. People in terrible positions, striving for something better, making the wrong choice. That's the consistent through line we've had here. You have a good heart, Justy. Even seeing good in Lowell. You're too good for this world with a heart like that. Mr. Eubank, what are you still doing here? Just wanted to see Lowell taken away. What he put me through, it was very rewarding. As for me, my client may have been blackmailed, but he's still charged with moving the body. So he will not be saying anything else on the matter until his lawyer approves of it. Yes, ma'am. If only we had that power when this whole case started. That aside, thank you both for catching Anton's killer. He wasn't perfect, but he was my friend. Wish you could have met that side of him, maybe in another life. I hope so. Yeah, I have thoughts about Anton, but it's a very difficult nuance to have, trying to see Owen's point of view here. It's been a long day, so we had best be off. Until we meet again, detectives. May we not meet again under professional context. Looks like you two solved the case. You were a pair of rookies. You two punched above your weight and won. We couldn't have done it without you. Your investigation got us the evidence we needed. I hope you haven't forgotten our deal. Now go tell the chief about what you did on Sunday night. Too late, he already knows. Sue told him earlier. Gave me the highest punishment on the force. Salary cut. Oh no! I hope it wasn't too big. Oh, don't worry about it. Us gumshoes know a thing or two about salary. I've been doing some thinking since this morning. Never should have met with Anton and recorded our conversation. Blinded my attempt to prove Anton and the Eubanks are rich elites who flaunt their wealth. You shouldn't be too hard on yourself. When I first joined you, I thought the Eubanks helped Luna out of grace, not guilt. I only had an admiration for them, but now I see how naive we both were. They have their own complex emotions and problems we only saw because we had to push the truth out of them. They're just people like us deep down, both flawed in their own ways. And that's the core message we're going to take away. We have to take away from this. I have thoughts. How about you both just admit you need to listen to the other side more and call it even? I like the sound of that. Besides, this isn't the time for regrets. You two solved the case. Now we can finally move on to exciting new cases. I need a good night's rest and a cup of coffee before even considering doing this again. In that case, how about we celebrate tomorrow? I think we earned it. Works for me. 5 cases in a row takes a lot out of a guy. 5 cases in 2 weeks and only now you're feeling tired? But until then, I'm going home. Not so fast. You got work to do. You're not going anywhere until you finish the job you were actually hired for. But, sleep! You can sleep here overnight if you don't want to finish quickly. Can I at least get a pillow and blanket if I do? Thankfully, I only need to stay 2 hours to finish what she gave me. It was obvious she was holding plenty back. She clearly expected me to finish up the work later in the week. While Lowell's arrest was the end of that case, there is still a bit more to this tale to share. Oh? May 3rd. Alright, today's just normal. No surprise cases, no more panic. They did say they wanted to celebrate. What do they have in mind? Office party? Right on time. Good morning, Justy. Hey, Miss Assistant. What's going on? Is this part of the celebration? Now that you are here, we have some news to share. I spoke with the chief, and he agreed to let you have this. Junior Police Officer Badge sticker. Think of it as kind of a promotion. We can't make you a real detective legally, so this is the next best thing. Detective? You want me to become one? It was an idea we were throwing around, but we didn't think it was realistic. What does it take to be a detective? You have to complete police academy training and become a police officer first, which requires passing a written and physical exam. Oh no, not gonna happen. Written exams have never been my strong suit, but what do you mean by promotion? Well, you were hired as a clerk, and news spread about your help solving one of the biggest cases in the city. The chief thinks that if you could keep helping to solve cases, you should be out in the field more. I would need to find a new clerk, but I suppose helping the public is better than the long term. I don't exactly know what your role will be, but we can figure that out later. What you say, Miss Assistant? Want to team up some more? Hey, Red, I called dibs on her first. I will be right back. Give me a moment to think. What am I doing? Why didn't I just say no? It isn't me. This whole thing. Hey, Justy, are you okay? I know it was a surprise, but we didn't expect you to run off. I just needed some time to think. I don't know if I should accept it. If you ask me, you're a great help. Why don't you want to take it? It's just, I never thought my life would take me here. I grew up with an artistic family, and I thought that was my calling. I even thought I would take over for my dad someday. Which, ironically, everything we know about her relationship with her dad and her family is that, like, she was the practical-minded one of the family who, like, kept the business running, while Dad got to do dad things. She was literally the best manager her dad ever had. Even when I studied art and loved it, it never felt right. So I applied at random jobs until I got my job here. I was standing outside this room on my first day. I thought it was just a one-time thing. Help the detective, and that's it. So much happened since. Is this really me? Is this my calling in life? Something so different from what I thought my whole life? Sometimes it is. So that time studying art in college a waste? What if this is all a waste? Sorry, I'm rambling. You have nothing to be sorry for. Not exactly the best at giving advice, but life isn't always a straight line. Especially with us. Who cares if you studied art before this? Do you need everything in your life to line up perfectly? Well, no. Exactly. Maybe being a detective isn't for you. Maybe in 6 months you will quit the station. Then you can keep looking until you find the path in life that's truly for you. If you don't try, you will never know. What if I let you down? What if we fail to solve a case because of me? What if... Stop saying what if. That's not the Justy I know. When I started having doubts of myself, you believed in me. You're a great detective, and there's no one I would rather have as a partner. The choice is yours, but I hope you say yes. Then... we need to solve an art robbery someday. I can show off everything I learned in college. Oh, priceless statue where the culprit leaves clues to its whereabouts. That'd be perfect for us. If we don't think in any case we do together, it'll be fun. That's the Justy I know and love. Oh, come on, let's head back to the others. We still have to put the sticker on your ID. Alright, let's go. I wasn't made a real detective that day. I was cleared to help out in future cases. I was scared. Starting a new role is always scary. But Sophie was right. Even if it isn't my calling in life, I had to try. What lies in store? That's for future me to find out. Forging a new path. Yeah. After my promotion, things remained relatively quiet at the station. Detective Hunt was busy as always. Sophie and I may have finished our case, but something major popped up. He offered to help, but he said, cases like this take a while to gather evidence. When I start making some headway, I'll bring you back as my assistant. I suppose some cases can't be solved in a day or two. Mr. Earl started looking for candidates to help cover for me while I'm out of the office. It was harder than expected. I have a few candidates in mind, but on second thought, I'll keep that to myself for now. Chandra started applying for maid work everywhere she could, but she didn't get any offers from anywhere until... a friend of mine works for the Azure City News Network. Want me to interview for a journalist? Hey! I've never done journalism before, but it can't hurt to try. Hey, something new calling in life. I like it. Eubank Investments didn't get away scot-free. The orphanage sale was nullified, and Appleton's mayor rescinded his deal with Eubank Investments. Eubank Investments had to file for bankruptcy, but they were able to remain as a company. How that works is beyond me. Yep, welcome to the corporate world. We filed for reorganization bankruptcy as a means to pay off our debts. I can give you a lesson in bankruptcy law if you like. No thank you. Learning criminal law is more than enough for me. Eubank Investments may have a downside, but we'll recover in time. We built this company with our very hands. We can rebuild it again. You know what? Fair. There's a point in time where you were actively... God, that's a ton of nuance there, because, like, yeah, you want to do good for the neighborhood, but at the same time, there's definitive cases of pricing the lower class, the poor folks out of their own neighborhoods. Sophie and I got to team up on more cases, but none of them have been as intense as the Eubank cases, which I'm thankful for. Looking for a lost cat is much easier than solving a murder. Our next big case is going to the movies together. We just need to decide which movie. Yeah. As long as it's not horror, I'm up for anything. What Super Ghost's Death Trap just came out. I hear it's amazing. No, never. I'd rather do paperwork than go with that. Oh, hi, Oliver. Charged with simple assault and pleaded guilty. That feels very mitigated. I mean, goddamn. Also, have we mentioned that the seizures that Chandra was having? Is Chandra okay in that regard? Like, it was supposed to be a felony assault, but Chandra asked the prosecution for lower punishment. One paid fine and a month in jail later, he returned home to Appleton. Even after what I did, my family accepted me back with open arms. I'm going to restart my cooking career, one where I keep my freedom and stay close to my family. Fee and Toasty were grounded for a month for what they did. It was going to be longer, but Sophie and I were able to convince the Eubanks to shorten it. She did help exonerate her dad of murder. Playing detective is fun. When we grow up, we will become detectives too. Right, Toasty? Meow! May the gods have mercy on your parents. Bill willingly stepped down as director of the Klaus orphanage. Embezzlement, while normally a felony, was reduced to a misdemeanor given the circumstances. Because of this, he was allowed to keep his public accounting license and return to accounting. I should count my blessings. I was able to go back to accounting at all. As long as the Klaus orphanage is in good hands, that's all I can ask for. Did you take over? Annie's plea deal saved her from jail time, but she was given community service and a large fine. Ironically, she had to sell the motel to the Klaus orphanage just to make up for the difference. Oh! The sale that was lower than what Anton was offering. Now the Klaus orphanage gets to keep the land itself and never has to move. Okay. My amazing magic trick leaked to the press. Now they want the full scope of my magical crime. World's greatest illusionist, Maggie Shawn, will rise again. With Bill stepping down, Meg was given the position of director. Whoa! It's only temporary. I plan to find someone else who can better run it. I love these kids, but I also have a dream I want to follow. Wishing her best. As for our relationship with Fry, we talk things out and kind of rebuild our friendship. Hey, we both made some mistakes, but we both care about each other. As for myself, the dough hits are bigger than ever. I don't need your dad's store to show the world my art. My dad was able to retire and now only makes glass at his own pace. His hobby of gardening started growing a lot since his retirement. It's just another thing for your mom and I to bond over. Just give it a try. No thanks. Taking care of my own life is hard enough. A plant is too much responsibility. Oh, she's so real for that. Ben, I sent back to prison. I was expecting he was able to become the prison's barber. He also regained his accent. In prison, I get more customers than you can shake a stick at. But soon I'll be out of here faster than a hot knife through butter. With the sale, Luna started planning her move to college. Yeah, she's growing up so fast. You better come visit me once I've settled in, Jay. I will, even if I have to beg Sue for time off. Better start planning my trip before plane ticket prices go up. Real. Troy wasn't fired from EuBank Investments, but only because the Eubanks were willing to overlook her crimes. Just like Fee, it was thanks to her evidence that Anton's killer was brought to light. At EuBank Investments, forgiveness is our #1 virtue, and no one embodies that virtue like the wonderful EuBank family. As for myself... A week on. Good morning, Miss Earl. Morning, Justina. We finally got an applicant for the new clerk role. And she will be filling in for you while you are out playing detective. I want you to interview her. Are you sure? I don't have anything prepared. Trust me, I think you can handle it. Who could it be? So what makes you a good fit for this job? Yeah, there we go. I have first-hand experience with the inner workings of this police station. I've even seen the process of bringing in witnesses myself. Geez, I wonder how you got such an experience. Yeah. Okay, fair. That's real. Thank you for thank yourself for playing Paper Perjury. Yeah. All right. We made it. It's a very charming ride. Like, like, I've had my thoughts throughout about the centerpiece of power here being a corporate entity actively skirting the law, and also you, me. Oh, I've had my thoughts throughout all this about the centerpiece of power here being a corporate entity skirting the law, while the actual folks being guilty of crimes, of the relevant crimes, being people not as well off, like striving for something more. And I guess I'm still up in the air as far as whether where I stand in terms of Anton. It's like we can if the message here is that okay, I think it's safe to say the message here between Justina's thoughts and between Justina's thoughts and Red's thoughts on the Eubanks and Anton. The message we're meant to take away is that they're all humans with their own flaws and fears and doubts and the like. And yes, but where I think where we did this the best was with Ferris's character arc. Like I think that was the best handling of this here. Ferris was the best of them from the start, but Ferris also showed us, like, Ferris had a good heart from the start, but Ferris also had the issue of still being like closed off from the people she considered friends, who happened to be metaphorically below her societally. To the point where, yes, she cared for them, may have tried to do her best to help them, but couldn't truly understand, like, the struggles of living that way. I guess part of me wishes that would have been emphasized a bit more, because that's that was a bit lost out on in terms of the overall theme of which it would feel mean of me to boil it down to rich people are human too, because eat the rich, but the Eubanks, I think we did a really good job of portraying their role in here as rich people who are out of touch with the rest of the world, to some degree, with the struggles of the rest of the world to some degree, but who genuinely mostly have good intentions for people. And that boils down to Ferris and her love for her family and her friends. And Ferris's arc, where she gets a reality check that she doesn't truly understand the struggles of the people around her and grows from it, and comes to the table metaphorically in our debates, interrogation debates, and the like, and actively starts working for the truth and true justice and things. But yeah, it also has the unfortunate side effect that after everything we've learned about Anton and seen portrayed about Anton, that when Owen tells us that Anton was a great friend and I wish you could have seen that side of him, I feel nothing, because I don't. Anton was an asshole. Sure, he might have been a friend of yours at one point in time, but he's an asshole who actively made things worse for people in this story by striving for money, even if it was in the best interest of keeping the company afloat. That Anton's striving for money, trying to buy out the apartment, the orphanage, going below board to buy out the orphanage, actually made things worse. Like, arguably he was the tempting force that turned Annie Carde against her, the orphanage that she objectively loved. The kids she objectively loved. Matters of money at hand here, yeah, led to Bill committing embezzlement to try and get the money to keep the doors open. Even if it was just, like, redistributing the money that was meant to go to him anyways for the orphanage. Still embezzlement. He still did it out of desperation to keep the orphanage afloat, because he's not exactly raking in the bucks there, not exactly in the greatest position there. Chandra did what she did to try and expose corporate greed. Oliver did what he did to Chandra because he was desperate to not lose what's objectively a good paying and supportive gig in a place that he considered family, that he loved working for so much that he considered them family, and was afraid that it was all going to come tumbling down if everything got upturned by Chandra trying to expose corporate greed and embezzlement. And again, Harris just actively getting his life ruined by Anton, being Anton trying to buy out the store, to Anton trying to blackmail the store out from under him. Actually threatening him with a gun. Again, Anton's motives in the end were, God, we boil it down to that too? I would argue that Anton is the villain. If this game had a villain, and this game has that... It's hard to say this game has a main villain in the vein that the typical Ace Attorney style game does. But I had to point at one. It would be Anton. Anton is the one truly villainous character in this game. I mean, he's got the beard, he's got the haughty attitude, he's got the gun that he loads with one bullet because he's a cocky bastard. He actively tried to buy out the orphanage, which led to Annie's crime. He actively tried to blackmail the store out from under him, from under Harris, which led to case 4 and 5. He literally called Detective Hunt in to his office the night before he was meant to testify to say to his face, "Nah, I'd win. You got nothing." It's a ballsy evil move. Which, like, you could go further by saying that the main villain is capitalism. Oh, we went there. We went there. We went there. We went through this again. The kill time as we discuss. But yeah, I think at the core of it, have I talked myself back around into being able to appreciate the message of just appreciating that people are ultimately people in the end? What does that sentence mean? People are ultimately people. Good job, Don. People, no matter the position and the social standing, humans are humans. Which, in its own sense, it's a good lesson to learn, because social media makes people blind to that, but that's a different matter. That's not really the core of this game. And yes, to a certain degree, like the rich people who are actively trying to tax you out of your home and actively trying to legislate you out of existence are humans too, with their own concerns and fears. Yeah, I bring that up, and it's harder to accept that. I've talked myself out of accepting that message again in a world where there are objectively evil people in positions of power trying to legislate myself and people I love out of existence. I can't empathize with them in that regard. I just can't. That's actively evil. This is a lighter scale matter here. If we reframe it to say that the systems are what causes this evil in humans, okay, we're onto something there. Maybe Anton was a genuinely good person down the back of in the line. I would argue against that. That's the incident that led to Luna getting hurt, that led to them getting the store. That led to Justina's dad getting the store. Ferris had to be the heart of the matter and tell them that, hey, company standing be damned, we should take care of the people who we hurt here. Because Anton was trying to bowl himself over and say, we'll lose corporate stand, we'll lose capitalism points if we bow to the filthy normals that we hurt with our shoddy inspection. Owen said, well, okay then. And Ferris said, well, okay, if you're sure, hubby. And then Sol came in and talked about Luna's injuries. And then Ferris came back and said, oh fuck, if that was Fee, I'd be feeling the exact same way. Ferris found the empathy brain cell and convinced Owen to convinced Owen to overrule Anton. So Anton was, could make an argument that the pending bankruptcy is what forced Owen into the forced Anton into the moves into the desperation and villainous moves that caused the majority of the problems in this game. But I would also overrule that. I would also dispute that, with the evidence of the past incident with the building accident that hurt Luna. Anton was just always this way. And Owen was not much better. But Ferris was always the heart of it. But I can appreciate the through line of people in desperate positions ultimately being the ones who become the culprits of our cases. Well, the Eubanks mostly get by. I can appreciate, I suppose, in the ending, while they stay open, they restructure, because that's the corporate world. Declare bankruptcy, restructure, come back. In a way, everyone who was involved because of this desperation that drug them into bad places, they do kind of rebound. I can appreciate that. They do kind of rebound. The Eubanks kind of take a hit after all of the game being followed along the same lines. The desperate are the ones we end up having to arrest, and the Eubanks get by scot-free. They get a little bit of fate, karmic reversal in the end. I can appreciate that. You say, if I come away with anything from this, I wish there was more. I wish there was more of that Ferris character arc. The realization that from the Eubanks side, that we could do better for these people, that we don't truly understand the struggles of these people. We were in this for them. Sure, we thought we had good intentions, but we didn't really understand. Systems are cruel, but it's, yeah. God, I did really enjoy this. Not to lie, yeah. The police department had very small town police department vibes with. And the dynamics between Hunt and Sophie, and Justina and Sue being the sort of office boss of everyone, who has the office social standing to kick everyone's ass if need be. It's a charming dynamic, and of course, Justina and Sophie, love them. I would say, just tell me they're not. Tell me they're not totally crushing hard on each other. Our next case is going to the movies together, Justy. Tell me they're not. After everything we've seen between them being teased, tell me they're not. Just try. I dare you. I will rebuke you. I will dispute that. I've compiled so much evidence in my Justy Sophie folder of evidence that the two are essentially already dating. They don't know it yet. Love them. Love their dynamic. It's simply adorable. Justy finds that maybe it isn't all that easy being green. And there's plenty of things teased. Plenty of room to delve into more in this world. I hope they do. I'd love to see more from this world. I'll be real here. It's... let's see, in terms of logic, I think it's pretty much on par with the Ace Attorney levels. Only a few points that really stonewalled me. And then there was, like, the final investigation segment where you have everyone's... My biggest gripe was the final investigation segment where you had the everyone's statements you could re-examine, but you only had to make one point to get the evidence you needed to proceed with the investigation. Like if they had said, if there was some kind of trigger that said, okay, we can move on now after that, I wouldn't have spent like a half hour rubbing my face against all the other statements trying to get more evidence. But small complaint, which was objectively for a planned final investigation. But most part, yeah, logic's solid. Gameplay loop worked really well, I thought. No complaints there. I like the ability to, like, not quite cross-examine, but present evidence against someone's statement in the field. Little Ace Attorney investigation style, almost. In the loop of using that as an interrogation method in the field. And then bringing people in for a formal investigation to, like, change phase and whatnot. I like that loop. It works really. It works well, I think. I'd love to see more in this vein. I'd love to see more. I think there's more you could tell from this world if you so desire. We haven't met Justina's sister. And there's definitely teases of more bigger cases coming down the line, perhaps. We have kind of dealt with the Eubank incident has settled down, so we'll need to dive into something else, but establish something else. But I think there's room for it, and I would love to see what Paper Cat Games does down the line, because this was great. This was great. We'll sign off the way we started here, just vibing on the hill. It really did kind of sort of maintain this a certain relaxed tone throughout, didn't it? If anything, the biggest point where the tone broke was when Justina was really going hard on Harris. To the point where Sophie had to pull her out of the room and read her the riot act a bit for getting her judgment clouded because of her family's involvement. That was the one point where the tension really went, oh shit. That was also conveniently the point when the Ferris's character turn came into play. It worked here, I wish. I don't know if we saw much from that going forward, but I think we did, because when she was in there, she's into it, and you can see some of the sillier dialogue and suggestions and whatnot is obviously she's not a trained interrogator. She's just doing the think and throwing out there what she can. That honestly, that ironically kind of explains away the silly nonsense answers she spews occasionally when you're questioning in interrogations. As, hey, I'm not actually trained to do this. I'm a clerk. Occasionally I say dumb shit. Understandable. But, yeah, like the running through line of, I'm not really cut out for this. Oh shit. Which really only we get hit with inside the room when Sophie has to call her out of the room to scold her. I'm not sure where that thought's going, but... yeah, we didn't get much follow-up on that after that case, I believe. Which might constitute a missed opportunity? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about the game overall, because I really enjoyed it. It's going up there on the Ace Attorney-like tier list for me. Maybe I'll do an Ace Attorney-like tier list. I don't know. We'll see. But now that's time I stopped rambling and sign off. Here, where the vibes are immaculate. Until next time. Until then.